How are you guys? Welcome back to Wargaming China. And you know what I do on this channel. I love my toy soldiers. I build my armies in 20mm. I use highly amended rapid fire rules to play my games, and I recreate the games of the War of Resistance in China against Japanese aggression from 1931 to 1945. And I've been playing rapid fire for decades. And I've slowly been building my Japanese forces for a long time. But I haven't added to them greatly. I mean, I recently bought 6 tanks. 6 Type 89s. And I couldn't think of the last time. It had been a long time since I'd made a purchase for my Japanese. So I don't spend a lot, but I have spent money on these over the decades. So this is why now I have quite a large Japanese army for rapid fire. And I've enjoyed building it, I've enjoyed making it, I've enjoyed the games that I've been able to play with these forces. Because, you know, I do China, and I've been doing this channel for 6 years now. But I used to game only the Pacific, or mainly the Pacific if I could. So I've done Guadalcanal, I've done Tinian and Saipan. I've done a lot of the campaigns in the Philippines. And I've just stuck with China and the War of Resistance now. Because, let me tell you why. When you go to a war game, especially a club, it's very hard to surprise anybody if you are historical miniature war gamers, because you're all very knowledgeable on the history of the war that you are trying to represent on the table. And it's very hard to say. I mean, I personally have been, you know, somebody said, "Oh, come on, we're going to play a North Africa game," and I immediately knew it was Kasserine Pass, and that I was screwed as the American player. You know, there's a lots of other times in war games. If you're doing historical miniature wargaming, as I said, it's hard to surprise your opponent with a turn of historical events, because they're just as informed as you are. But, and I play in China, I don't really have that problem. Most of the games I play, the scenarios I play, except for the larger battles, nobody's ever bloody heard of. And it's a good thing, because everything's new to me. And when I read about it still after decades of doing this, you know. I mean, I think I did my first, I probably built my first Chinese about 15 years ago. So what are we looking at here? Is we're looking at my, obviously, my homemade fleet, the Japanese. People have seen that many times. And then a regiment of the SNLF. Yeah. And a regiment of Naval Landing Infantry. A tank regiment, Lotsus, Type 89s. And then a Lorried Infantry Regiment. A tank brigade. And lots and lots and lots of artillery. Don't worry, I'll show you, I'll break up the armies as we go. Just doing the view from the rear now. And then a triangular regiment. And a square regiment of Japanese infantry. And get my beer. Now, if you look at my armies, and you know, you think, oh, look at the size of them. I mean, that's just about everything. There are a few things Japanese that are not on the table, but they were either too big or I just couldn't fit them, or I can't be asked to find them. If you look at my Japanese, you'll see not many trucks the size of this force. You will also see not many purpose-built tractors and tows for the artillery. And as I said, I haven't added to this army for a long time, but I very rarely find I have to move artillery. So I didn't go for all the tracked towing vehicles that the Japanese army had. I mean, they had some beautiful towing vehicles, but I didn't go for them because generally they just gather dust in the cupboard, in the drawer. Now you might say there, we're starting to look at my Lloyd Infantry Regiment. Now that's a Lloyd Infantry Regiment for up until about 1939. And the Lloyd Infantry Regiment was, again, there was no set form for it, but an established table of organisation was established in 1942, and I'll do a video on that one day. But all these are out because I have a lot of repairs to do. Every once in a while I get every single army out and do all the painting, do all the touch-ups, and I do it like this. I lay it out so I can do it all one unit at a time. It takes quite a long time. Go through it slowly, doing all the colours, and eventually I'll just put it all away and know that it's good. I never have much trouble. I never have much luck keeping my Japanese flags. They all seem to peel off, especially the old Matchbox ones, the ones playing on Matchbox. I don't know why, but they never seem to last. So as you can see here, I've got, you know, this army. If you like a Japanese army, this army is a wet dream, you know. But as I said, there's lots of things you could say I don't have. I don't have tracked armored observation vehicles for my artillery. I've only got 2 half tracks in the whole army. But as I said, I've been able to recreate hundreds of battles historically accurately with what I've got. And the things that I've lacked, I might get them one day, but everything I need I've now got. The only thing I will always add to is my aircraft, because I do like my air support on the table. And as you can see here from these planes, I always have the same maxim. It's got to be pretty enough to be a distraction, but not heavily armed enough to seriously influence the game. But there are exceptions to that, of course. Now, it's a Babs, it's a Judy, it's a Nate, it's a Zero, and an A5. Fleet, except for those 5 landing craft, which are old Marks toys. Everything there are scratch build. The SNLF, I did a video on them. I did a video for IGN Forces Battle of Shanghai. The SNLF are in that. I think the IGNLF are in that. So there you go. That's what 5 infantry regiments of Japanese looks like. You know, it's a lot of my homemade armoured cars. There's a couple of them more in the house. Yeah, you might think, well, Adam, are you happy enough with this Japanese army? You know what? What I would love, if you're a manufacturer or a maker and you hear this, I would love 20mm winter. Japanese infantry in winter uniforms. Please, please, please. I just don't have the I don't have the skills to even attempt to convert them. But yes, they would be nice if any manufacturer could make them. I would love to have them. That'd be it. I wouldn't ask for any more Japanese. I could perhaps do another regiment of naval landing forces in summer whites for the Battle of Manila. But no, what else could one do? Oh, they are reserve naval infantry for the first and second Battle of Shanghai. So yeah, there you go. There's my Japanese, and now I'm going to sit here with a beer and get my paints out and just slowly go through the armies and pull out the figures that need doing. Alright, you have a nice weekend. Hit subscribe. Man, I'm always after more subscribers. Press like. See ya.